What's going on, everybody? So today I'm going to be doing 5 reasons why you may like working in an office, and these are just my personal perspective. 5 reasons, but they may be different for you and say somebody else, let's say my brother worked in an office. He may not like it because it's not for him, but it's for me. So it's all different, and it also depends on what you're doing at the office. And I feel like I've worked in an office setting for just a day, and it was more for a volunteer work, because it was like the Take Your Child to Work Day for niners. So when I was younger, I went with my aunt, who works she's in an insurance company, and she's actually one of our insurance companies that are partnered with my company. So she works in a different branch, a different department of the company. So it's a little different. But that's when I kind of realized an office is actually really fun to work in. And it's not just because it's a 9 to 5 job, or it's because you get to be independent. It's because the environment is just different. When you work in retail or when you work in fast food, a lot of people deal with other customers, like your clients, in person. Here, you still, there is different departments that deal with people face to face, but others are more so making phone calls. And personally, I think I hate phones, but sitting on a phone all day is something that I'm actually really enjoying. And I've came across training last week. I came across some really, really, really different scenarios. And I'm sorry this video is shaky. I actually don't have a tripod for my phone. So, I came across different scenarios and people were upset. So how do you deal with that? The way you would deal with that is exactly how any person dealing with them would deal with it. You just kind of let it go. So you have them explain, even though they are so angry, they want to talk to a supervisor, they're just furious, you can do something. So if they really demand to speak to somebody, then what we personally do is just transfer them to a senior advisor, and they will work with the customer to solve their problems, as I do not have the rights or the authority to do things like refunds and exchanges or policy cancellations or things like that. I don't have the authority to actually help them. So my role is just to kind of figure out what they want and send them to that department so that that department can deal with them. Now, one thing that I like about it is that we can actually talk to the person in the department of the company. So I could talk to my coworker that's sitting literally across the room from me, and I could before transferring the customer, I could put the customer on hold and I can talk directly to them. So if I do ever need to get if I ever need a hand, then I could just transfer to my coworker and ask my coworker instead of yelling across the room. So that's one thing that I really like. So we could do conference calls and they can come on the line and kind of back me up and help me out there. So also another thing is that they don't have to actually be talking to the client. They are more so talking to you personally on the phone call. So it's you can hear both people, but they can't hear each other. So it's pretty cool, and you can also join, like, transfer the client so that they can hear the conversation between the two employees. But it's really cool because I use that with my trainers, actually. So in situations like that, I would be sitting at my desk, but my trainer would be all the way at their desk, and whoa, look at the brightness. And that's one thing that I really like, is that the communication is between us. Excuse me. Another thing, so my second thing is that it's very, very independent and you're working on your own. So right now I am partnered with someone because I am a new employee. I have to be partnered with somebody until I am comfortable of doing things on my own. So whether my trainer is the person that sits next to me or maybe 3 cubicles down, then I still have to have somebody sitting at my desk with me, because there is certain things that we have access to, but we're not authorized to actually legally do it. So those are like things, because we can't block it on our systems, because pre-call, like, you have access to the customer's accounts. Like, let's say they want to make a payment. That's my role. You want to make a payment, I will do that for you. You want to change your policy, my senior and agents will do that for you because they have that access. But what I have access to is the information about that policy. But what I don't like doing is providing the wrong information. So I won't I will just go ahead and do a cold transfer to them. So that's something that I really, really like, and even though I have access to everything, it's really good, it's really easy, it's really fun. There's not very much call time, so we do have a lot of calls during the day. Like, I took over 300 calls on Friday, but on the bright side, there's always a learning curve. And even if it's because somebody's really upset or they're not happy with their policy, or their policy went up, or their insurance went up, it's all different scenarios, and you're always learning and learning and learning. And that's one thing that I really, really love about The Office. It's also, that's a third reason, you're always learning something. So my first reason was, I can't even remember, but my fourth reason is being able to work a 9 to 5 shift. I used to work a 3 to 11, 11 to 7. I've always worked, and then I've worked hours in between, 10 to 6, 12 to 3, 12 to 5, all those kind of things. I used to work all different hours, and one thing that I do remember is that working in certain areas, you really, for me, it's 9 to 5 mainly. It just gives you the rest of the night to do things. So if I want to go out after 5 o'clock, I can go out and do something. I can go shopping at the mall because the mall's just down the street from my work, or I can go to the plaza that has shopping centers that is just down the street. The only downside is that right now it's winter, so right now it's really cold and dark really early. So I go to work when the sun's out, I come home when it's dark. But my desk, thankfully, is one facing, there's somebody else, but it's mainly facing the window. So I'm actually facing the windows, and I'm not facing the other direction, which is just a bunch of walls. So I really like the light that comes in because I have that lighting at my desk. So that would be my fourth reason. And then my last reason, and last reason of all, is probably just making friends. Now, I've made a lot of friends and people my age, but I am one person that doesn't go to parties, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do any of that. So finding somebody that doesn't do any of that is more like looking at like an adult that's in their 30s or an adult that's in their 40s. But the difference between that is that even though I am young and I interact with people who are older, there's still ways of connecting with people that are your age. So right now, like, I know a lot of people, like people that started with my, like, in my insurance company, that started in my training session. There's a lot of people that are like my age, and I get along with them and all. Like my last work, it was all mainly 23 to 26 years old, like that age group. But this age group, like the gap between everybody is just amazing. There's some people that are in their 40s, some that are in their 30s. Most of us are between 20 and 30, but there's also people that are higher up in the division and they're older, and it's a really nice setting. When you see people in the morning, everybody says hello, good morning. We all walk around to our cubicles, like each department, and we'll be like, good morning, good morning, good morning. Like, it's just such a friendly environment, and everybody like just gets along, and you can go and you can sit in the meeting rooms and you can chit chat until your actual shift starts, or you can go and sit at your desk and just hang out with the people around you. But I like to personally just go and sit in the boardroom, which is a big room, probably about 20 chairs in, and I like to go and just sit in there, and everybody just piles in. And then we have our big meeting. And then, so in the mornings, we have a meeting, which basically gives you the rundown of how the day is going to work, what we're expected, what we're not expected to do, what we're expected to do, what department we're in, because we do get moved around to each department. And as a trainer or trainee, that's something that I really enjoy. I learn how to do all different things that I'm not even qualified to do. I'm still doing it as an agent in the office. And also another thing, I'm just gonna throw like a sixth thing that I like about office work. It would probably be the fact that there is only 3 floors in the building, and maybe about 50 rooms on each floor, and then we have a humongous cafeteria with very, 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 very good food. I usually like buy food and eat like McDonald's or KFC or like something that's not good for you, but you go into the cafeteria and you can get like salads or quinoa or spaghetti or chicken. It all depends. There's stuff for everybody. There's sushi, and it's all like made by the cafeteria workers, so nothing's really like bad for you. It's like making a home cooked meal and serving it to a bunch of people. So that's really nice too. The food is great there. It's very cheap. It's like for a humongous bowl with heaping leaves of salad, it's like I paid like $2.50 for it, and I didn't even finish the whole thing. And mind you, I do eat like a bird, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, oh, and what you wear. So when you work in an office, you are required to wear clothing that is more like business formal or business casual and stuff like that. Like for me, it's blazers and a blouse and a nice pair of pants. Or it's something casual like a cardigan, a tank top or like t-shirt, or blouse even, and a nice pair of pants and boots or flats, something closed-toed. So that's something that I really like, and it's actually a really good thing that I am actually getting the experience to do this, because there is ways of bumping up in the company after 3 months. So right now I am one of the selected people who are studying for their license to go higher up in the company. And last week it was really good because I think I showed like what I can do on a computer, or like how I learn so quickly, and it gave me the potential to actually bump up in the company and get an offer to bump up in the company. And that's not something that most people get. There's people that are that started working with me that are lower in the company, but the only thing is I have a lot of customer service experience. So I think because I have a lot of customer service experience, it's what they recommend for me, and it's where I suit best. And I don't like dealing with people. I mean, nobody likes dealing with other people unless it's like friends and family. Even then, I don't even like to deal with people. But when you deal with people and you have to deal with them and figure out everything, right now my job is very easy. I ask you what you're here for, I figure out what department's best for you, and I transfer the call, and we move on to the next call. And that's the difference. Like, it's different to just pre-qualing everybody, so basically verifying who you are, finding out your information, and then sending you out to an agent who is licensed to do more than what I am authorized to do. So that's the fun part. Those are 6 things that I enjoy about working in an office. I also enjoy the fact that I have bulletin boards that I can just post whatever I want on my bulletin board. Like, we have a cubicle and it's a desk. So it has we have a desk here, we have a desk here. This is where our computer sits. In front of us, we have 2 screens, a computer, and the phone system. Then we have a little desk area on the side where you can actually store your belongings. It has 2 drawers, it has 2 shelves, and it has a pull-out drawer. So those are some things that are really beneficial. Like, you have your own area and you're not moving from desk to desk to desk to desk. We leave our computers on, that we're signed into our own computers. It's what is basically ours for the time being. So if I'm there only 3 months, it's going to be my desk for 3 months. So you can really personalize it and make it yours. And that's something that I really like about it, because before, when I did, when I worked in, say Harvey's, for example, I shared an office as a supervisor. I shared an office with 5 other people, and it's hard to have your own area. So even though we had 5 different computers, we had 5 different, we weren't individually in the room. And I like that. I like having my personal space, and it's something that I really enjoyed. Somewhere I can go to sit and have my lunch, or I like to go and just be by myself. Maybe I'll go on my computer and do some work for photography or edit a video for YouTube. And there's a lot of downtime, and that's another benefit about being in an office. The work that I do, there's a lot of downtime. So when you're waiting for a call, you're allowed to go on Facebook, you're allowed to go on Google, you're allowed to go shopping online, you're allowed to do all of these things that you wouldn't generally do in, say, a retail store, that you're required to clean up after people, or you're required to always be aware and helping customers. It's a lot different. And it's just beneficial for me. We have a gym. I like to go to the gym on my break. And I'll go to the gym and walk the treadmill for 15 minutes, but not enough to where I'm sweating like a pig. But I'll go and I'll walk in the treadmill, and then after work, I'll go and I'll do some weights. And it's there's other things in our facility that we are allowed to do. And now that I have experience like answering phones and like handling customers and stuff, I can also look into jobs towards other companies and get a part-time job, or I can look into reception and work as a receptionist somewhere. So it all depends on everything, but this video I don't want to be too long. I'm sorry again, my quality is not the greatest. Also, you can see every imperfection in my face, which I really hate right now, but my face is so red and I don't know why, but it's so red. I do have to do my eyebrows, but anyways, don't mind that. I am gonna go more in depth and sit down with you guys in another video. Also, I have some good information to put out there. I'm currently in the moving process, so I'm packing everything. I have 122 days left till I have to be out of the house that I'm in. So I gotta find an apartment and move. And that's something that I'm really excited for because I don't plan on actually going back home. I plan on going on my own because I live at home still. Like, I live with my dad, but I have my own area and my own, like, privacy and everything. And I don't want, like, I want to go back. I don't want to go back to somewhere where, like, it's a different kind of environment. I'm going back and I'm literally staying in the room next to my parents' room, like my mom and my stepdad's room. Nothing wrong about that, but I want something where I have my own, like, I can take care of myself and have my own responsibilities and everything. So I think an apartment is my next step, and a vehicle, even if I don't get a vehicle, moving into an apartment is going to be something that I'm looking forward to right now. I'm actually shopping online for apartments and searching for things. I'm hoping to get a vehicle and hoping to get an apartment and be able to afford both. If not, then I don't know what to do next. I'm moving in the winter, which is actually a very big downfall because going places in the winter is not fun. I like to just go to work and then come home and be warm and cozy. But I do have to go traveling around and look at apartments and do things like that. My mom comes around with me, but there's certain days that she's not available and I'm available, so I will just go on my own and do things like that. My dad's gonna help me look for vehicles, my mom's gonna help me look for an apartment, so I do have that extra support, but they're not always available the same time as I am, and right now I don't get along with my stepmom, so that makes it harder for my dad in that case because we don't get along. But I get along with my stepdad, my mom, and my dad, but that's just a downfall. But anyways, there's things that happens, and you grow and you learn, and yeah, so anyways, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys soon in another video. Maybe one day I will be posting, and you guys will see me in a new apartment. So stay tuned, and I will see you guys soon in a new video. Bye!